Every Thursday night, 9 p.m., Iconic Cafe hits the digital radio airwaves with the best in home interviews and cooking. Be sure to check out Iconic Cafe Mishawaka Facebook page for upcoming and archive shows. Now that's iconic.
Come back to Mishawaka for some home cooking, whether you're out late at night or up early in the morning. Featuring Dog and Suds root beer, iconic cupcakes, homemade biscuits and gravy. The Iconic Cafe, 215 North Main Street, Mishawaka.
All right, we're on the air. Welcome to Iconic Radio. This is Bruce. We got a special guest today, Larry from Media Madhouse, and his wife, Stephanie. Larry, glad to have you here.
Thanks, Bruce. Glad to be here.
Well, I got to do some stuff for Bill here, so let me get that out of the way, and we'll get on with the show. Okay, for the Phoenix coming up on Thursday, it's Open Jam. Friday night, he'll have the Smash Kings. Saturday, it'll be Ground Control. 5-Star Dive Bar. We'll have Open Jam tonight. Southern Straightaway on Friday and Party Mouth on Saturday. Cheers Pub will have the Recent on Friday and X Factor on Saturday. And, of course, we'll be on XERS Web Radio with Facebook Live here. So if you have any questions for Larry, get on the Facebook and we'll answer them for you. Super Bowl special coming up from 1 to 4. They'll have Steve and Steve of Cheap Seats, and they'll be doing a live remote at the Phoenix. And the Phoenix at the same time will have a benefit for Alan Lowell. And that's on Super Bowl Sunday, February 1st. So, Larry, glad to have you. I'll say a little bit about Media Madhouse first, and I'll let you take over. I got to meet you when I was a job coach for young adults. And
right.
I came into your place, and I asked you, if you'd be interested in having one of our students work. And most of the time, businesses would kind of balk at me. But you were so nice to say, yes, I'll do it in a heartbeat. And we had this relationship built from that, and I always appreciate it. I think you're a great service for the community. And I wanted to get that out, and your place is really cool, too. So take it away with that on that.
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, it's been a good time having the kids come in and do some work for me. They do a good job. They try their best. They're challenged at some things, but they work hard.
Oh, yeah, and you treat them with respect, which I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah, they're good kids, and I'm glad to be involved with that program. A lot of people say, well, why do you do it? And it's like, well, it's one way to help the community out a little bit, and glad to do that for them. So.
Well, I appreciate it. There's so many cool things at Media Madhouse, and why don't you just explain to us just how you got it started and what it's all about?
Yeah, I was actually driving truck.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was driving truck going Ohio, Chicago, Detroit, and I'd stop at all these little pawn shops and little places along the way and pick up some items that I thought, I might be able to make some money on.
Okay, yeah.
And so I started doing that, and then finally I didn't want to drive truck anymore, and my wife didn't like me driving truck anymore. So I started doing it kind of full time, but just putting stuff on eBay and selling stuff to local people around here, and then the stuff that the local people didn't want to buy, the other businesses started filling up my garage. And so we decided, well, we better do something with that. So we started a store and called it Media Madhouse.
So how'd you get the name Media Madhouse?
My wife and I were just throwing names back and forth, and she's very creative, very clever, so she helped me come up with something. And
she's here, by the way, just to let you know. Tried to get a mic on her, but she won't let us do it.
Well, I'd say it either way. So we just put our heads together and came up with that name, and it seemed to really fit and seemed like kind of a cool name. And it looks like a few other businesses around are trying to, take some stuff off that name now. So,
well, is there a big competition for you? I mean, with other businesses?
It's not real big, but I don't think there's that huge of a market because a lot of people will just go ahead and buy something brand new.
Okay.
And, we cater to the used market and try to make it reasonable something where somebody can come get a real good deal.
Well, and you got such unique items. I mean, as you know, I always, for Christmas or birthday, I get my brother some Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
So every year I've been there, I always find something cool. I mean, you really have a great array of just cool stuff.
Right. Thanks. I go out looking for it.
I know.
If I went to Chicago and bought a Yoda, and I went to some other place and bought a Silver Surfer, and
well, we'll talk about that later. I posted that on Facebook too. I thought that was so neat.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think you really care about your customers and really find some great products for them that no one else has.
Right. Well, I'm the only music, movie, and game store that does comic books, ball cards, memorabilia. Cool items like that. Nobody else really does that. So
yeah, but I mean, there's a big need for it with people, I think.
Oh yeah, a lot of people do, especially for gifts for Christmas time, tax time, birthdays, and there's unique items in there, so you can come in and get a good deal on something.
And you always seem to move stuff. Every time I come in there's always new product. I mean, really.
Well, just merchandising, just
right.
Change it up a little bit, but. Yeah, it's a big job, but we try to keep some good, clean items in there for people.
Oh, I think it's great. And then also people can bring in stuff to sell. Is that true?
Yeah, that's a big thing. There's one story of a guy that was last year, maybe the year before. He went through a tough breakup with his wife, and he had just this huge comic book collection. And he'd been to a couple places and pawn shops and stuff, and they were like, no, we don't want it. And, he told me a story, and it could be a story, but I don't think it was, because a year later he came back and he said, man, you really got me back on my feet because I was able to sell that stuff to you. And now I can, start over again, and things are good. So
right,
it almost brought a tear to his eye, which almost brought a tear to my eye. And it was a good story. So it made me feel good because we are there to help people too. So.
Oh, I know. So like if someone brings in comic books, how do you know what to price them as? I mean, is it just your knowledge over the years, what it's worth? Or?
That's the thing. I go through albums and comic books and CDs and movies so fast that people are like, well, how in the world do you do that? And I'm like, I can't teach it. It's because I know what goes on and what sells and what is going to sell for my store and what's going to hang around for too long.
Oh, okay.
And then I have to put a price on it accordingly and then make it a good enough price that it's going to kind of fly out the door. I try to turn the product over if I can, like in 2 months. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So people got to come in more often because, like I said, there's always going to be new product.
Oh, yeah. There's a huge turnaround because I just bought like 500 record albums, and I think in 2 weeks, I think, I probably sold 600 record albums. So.
And it's a cool collection you got. I mean, really.
Some people have some really good collections. They go through a divorce, or they just get tired, or their wife makes them throw some stuff away.
Right.
And, so they have to bring their stuff in. They need to get some money out of it. And somebody else is always there to collect some more, so...
Now, do you got phonographs too? Do you sell those? I mean, for the records?
When I get them.
Oh,
when
okay.
I get them, yeah. I currently have one in, but
right.
The right person has to come and get that. And
do you clean the records up too for them? I know you do the CDs and stuff. In fact,
oh yeah.
Can people bring in their discs and get them re-cleaned? I mean,
oh yeah, especially on the Blu-ray, CDs, DVDs. We have a pretty expensive machine, and it pretty much can do miracles on
okay. So they know that too. We got about a minute left. What's a website where they can get you on the internet? Is there?
Usually right now, because I don't really have a good website for the store, but I do the Facebook, and so just Media Madhouse.
Okay.
On Facebook, and if people like us, every Tuesday we pick a winner. It's a $10 Tuesday, we call it.
Yeah, I saw that on your Facebook.
Yeah.
So what's that about?
Well, that's just randomly. I've got a girl that just randomly picks people who like the page that day. And if you become a follower, there's all kinds of deals that we throw on there, giveaways, and a lot of different ways to win some things.
Okay. And I see on your Facebook page a lot of people are into that.
Yeah. A lot of people, some people like it every day. Other people are like, oh, yeah, I should have liked that. And, once they start winning, they keep liking it. And I think we have over 1,000 now, which is pretty good.
Oh, okay.
But hopefully we get some more.
Now, can people get on the Facebook and see what products you got, new products in? Do you got like photos of stuff, anything coming new? Or?
Many times I'll send the girl that does my Facebook, I'll send her the pictures of things I want her to put on there.
Gotcha. So they can get on your Facebook and see what you got coming in, save a trip.
Times, yeah. And she's answered a lot of questions, and so we do a lot of stuff through Facebook.
All right. Well, hey, Larry, about 20 seconds. I got some Beatles coming up, The Word, and While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And we'll be back. This is Iconic Radio. And want a big shout out to Adam Nelson, a thank you. I'll talk more about him in a little bit. So again, Iconic Radio. All right, we're back on with Larry from Media Madhouse and Iconic Radio. Larry, I've been in your store a bunch of times, and one of my favorite items is the Silver Surfer. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. We actually saw, I think it wasn't Pawn Stars, but it was the other pawn show out of Detroit.
Oh, I didn't know there was another one.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Big Time Pawn. You know what? I don't know what it's called, but okay. They sold a Silver Surfer to them, and then I think they put that one on eBay after that. So I was like, I want to get something to,
I want it.
Yeah, make people want to come into the store and see it. So I tracked one down and bought it, and I tracked a Yoda down and I bought it, and I tracked Elvis down.
Oh, I know. And the Silver Surfer is like a human size. I mean, yeah. It's big.
Yeah, on the board, all silver and just shining up. So.
And what was it used for? You told me before it was like a movie premiere or something. They had them out.
Yeah, I think there were 400 of them made. And certain movie theaters got them. They hung them on their wall, and it looked like the surfer was kind of coming out of the wall.
Oh, okay.
When they did it. So. Yeah.
But I mean, he's on a surfboard.
He's on a board. Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. Before that, I'd never seen one like it. It took a pawn show to, for me to figure out there was something like that on there. I've been looking for a Spider-Man now too.
Oh, right, like a full-size one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be sweet. What's someone asked? What's the most they'd pay for it? Anyone give you any outlandish bids? Or would you sell it, or is it just?
Yeah, they're for sale, but like the one sold for I think $2,700.
Oh, okay.
On eBay, so it's kind of a high price. It was kind of more purchase for the store to give it some eye appeal.
Oh, I think it's great because you see it right when you walk in. I mean, it's right there for you and stuff. Yep. And I always ask Larry, I think he should have it where you can get pictures with it. I think it'd be so cool with it.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Yeah, I think so too. And how about the Elvis? The Elvis is a full-size figure too, and he got a guitar with it.
Yeah.
I mean, where'd that come from?
Well, I inquired, I think, on Craigslist for statues and items like that, and I ended up finding a store in Napanee.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was Plymouth. You know what? They all run together now. Mm-hmm. But I went into a store, and there it was. I wasn't even looking for that. I was actually looking for comic books when I went in there, and they had the Elvis standing there, but she was selling everything out, and I was like, oh, my word, what would I do with it? Or would I put it? It's so big, but...
It's perfect where you got it.
Yeah. We came to an agreement, so worked it out, and I'm like, yeah, I was happy to have Elvis enter the building. So, but he can leave the building anytime.
Okay. And how about the Yoda? Where'd that come from? Well, you said Chicago.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yoda. We picked my daughter up from her mission trip, I believe, is where we picked her up in Chicago from that. It was a couple years ago, and kill some time because we were a little early. I decided to go to a couple pawn shops, and I went to this one pawn shop, and they had really the coolest Predator I've ever seen in my life. He was like 6.5 foot tall, and
wow.
And his wingspan I think was 6 foot easily too. It was huge, and there in the corner was Yoda, and I was like, oh no, I had a Yoda like 5 years ago. I ended up selling it, and I was really upset that I sold it.
Yeah, because I mean, cool. Some of those things are just worth keeping.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's one of those from the movies also. It was one of those prop type things where they gave each theater, one to use, but like probably only 400 or 500 theaters.
Right.
Yeah. And so that was a cool thing. So I tried to talk the guy down at the pawn shop, but he would not go down. He said, "No, we'll keep him. We like him, but I would have to sell it for this price." So that's when I said, "Okay, I'll buy it."
A little bit of your own medicine there,
Yeah, definitely.
How about the R2-D2? What was that?
Oh, yeah, the cooler.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a cooler. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a cooler, and it was a prop for the movie, that Pepsi put out. They only made a limited number of them, and so we have one of those. But I have trouble putting that on the floor because of the floor space, and it's a little fragile. I don't want anybody to break it.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite there in the stores? Besides those Silver Surfer and all that, is there something that just you will not sell? I mean, is there something in the store?
Well, my problem is I try not to get too attached to anything, but anything Chicago Bears, I seem to get pretty attached to. I have an '85 Bears helmet that is.
Well, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
No, where's that?
Yeah,
at?
That's in that showcase right when you enter the door to the right.
No kidding.
Yeah.
An '85 helmet.
Yeah,
it was worn by a player.
No, it wasn't worn.
Okay.
I believe this was just one of those ones that they sell as a replica.
Okay.
That they signed, but it wasn't game worn.
Okay.
But it was, most of the '85 Bears are on it. Walter did not sign it because it was a reunion when they had the '85 Bears come to a reunion, and they signed stuff, so they signed that. But that would be hard to get rid of, but I will get rid of it. But probably my Walter Payton autographed photo.
Okay, is that in the store too?
Yeah, it's in the store, but it's in my office.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't let anybody see it.
Right. So you got to meet him?
No, I saw him play live in person, pretty close to him, but I never met him.
Wow.
Yeah. But he signed this one picture, and of course, I can't get him to sign a lot anymore. So.
Well, yeah, sad to say, but true.
Honestly, yeah. No, but my favorite player of all time, so that's pretty hard to get rid of.
Well, you got a lot of helmets in there autographed, too. I mean, how do you go about getting those? Or people just bring those in? Or?
Yeah, a couple collectors will sell their stuff at certain times. Guys, man caves get too overrun. A couple other businesses when they go out of business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all so right. I have this huge lot of helmets from all the Notre Dame players. Just trying to think of who. Just drew a blank, but
no problem.
Quarterbacks, running backs, but I know Jerome Bettis was one of them.
Okay.
The Rocket. And
well, you got a Montana jersey up there too.
Yeah.
That's in the frame, isn't it?
Actually, we sold the Montana jersey.
Oh, okay.
And I sold the steel curtain jersey.
Wow, that was a nice one too.
Oh,
My son wanted that one.
Yeah, that was really neat. Now I have a nice Joe Montana that's like a PSA authenticity on it.
Oh, okay.
Signed picture. It's a pretty nice piece. But I have Mantle.
Oh,
yeah. I have a couple Mickey Mantle signed, which is really cool. One with Yogi Berra.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be really limited.
Right.
I mean what that is and stuff.
So we have a couple of cool pieces like that. Those those will tend to stay around for a while because I think we had the steel curtain for 4 or 5 years.
I know. It was so cool, though, up on the wall. I mean, it was by the Montana. I mean, it was perfect.
It just happened, this one guy said, yeah, I really want that. I told my girlfriend, I think she's going to buy it for me for Christmas. And a few weeks later, the girl came in and said, I'm here to buy that for my boyfriend for Christmas.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's cool. I think she'd get married if she's going to do that.
What's the one Notre Dame helmet you have, the full size? It's like half gold and half... something else on. They played, I can't think of what game they played.
Right, yeah, I think that was the Ireland game.
Oh, okay, yes.
And it was a replica helmet. It wasn't game used. But I purchased that helmet, I think, offline from somebody, which I was really happy to get it because they skyrocketed in price right after that. I think that same helmet they sell at the bookstore for like $750.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Right, and then 2 years ago, I went to the brunch at Notre Dame, where you can have brunch and then meet the players and have them sign autographs. And so I had half the team. That's all I could get to sign the helmet. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean that's a one of a kind helmet. I mean that was just one game. I mean when they did that.
Yeah, those are hard helmets to get a hold of too.
Oh, okay. And then you got a bunch of football figurines, baseball. I mean, great collection of that stuff.
Yeah, there's a cool Barry Sanders in the shadow box.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's kind of high up right now. But John Elway and Brett Favre.
Okay, and then we get back. We're almost ready for a break again.
Okay.
Well, you got a bunch of NASCAR stuff too.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I mean, I know NASCAR is always popular with that. So, well, we got about 30 seconds. I'll go over again. Tonight, the Radio Classics will have Lux Radio Theater, Sunset Boulevard. and that was first on 9/17/1951, and that's brought to you by the Phoenix Grill. So, and of course, tonight we're on Iconic Radio. And no Funk and Groove this week. They'll be off. I think Dan is in Florida, Bill said. So with that, we'll take a little break. We got some blood, sweat, and tears for you. And this is Iconic Radio. We'll be back shortly. All right, we're back on Iconic Radio with Larry from Media Madhouse. Hey, I want to make a big shout out to Adam Nelson. He has Daisy and Dad Designs, and he does graphic designs and promotions. And Adam did a great job for me on the menus when I started out at Iconic Cafe and also with Iconic Radio. So, Larry, what do you think of the menu?
Bruce, this thing's making me hungry, man. I'm going to have to get some hot ham and cheese and some walking taco. I mean,
that's all you have to say. You sold it. Thank you, Larry. Way back, during our break, we always have some great conversations during break. And, I thought, what when people bring stuff in, they want to be selling it to you. So what should they know about customers, what they're looking for?
Well, right now, just about anything Nintendo. Yeah,
okay.
It's just really, really hot.
Now, this is old Nintendo, right?
Really, all of them, yeah. I mean,
okay.
A lot of people, they, I don't want to bring it in because I don't have all the cords, and, I might be missing a controller, and we're like, we could piece that stuff together. So.
Oh, okay. So even if it's not a full set,
you still get something for it, because I've heard a lot of people say they're going to, it looks like it might be a little broken, so we're just going to throw it all away, and it's like, well, sometimes the cartridges are worth more than the game systems.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, you want to hold on to that stuff and bring it in and try to get some money out of it.
Great. So Nintendo's big. Any other systems, of old school? Or?
All the new stuff is always big.
Okay.
But as far as old stuff, really Nintendo has kind of captured that. Record albums.
Yeah. So what are you looking for with that? Like if...
my thing is classic rock. That's what we sell.
Okay.
We don't do a lot of jazz, blues. Really don't do a lot of country western. But, just anything from Beatles on up to... Well, they still make albums.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, they do. I mean, so the latest U2 album.
So where would you buy that at?
Usually like that, you'll have to order online or like Best Buy to get the brand new ones.
Okay.
We get a few of those in.
Do they still sound analog or they sound digital, I guess?
I think it's back to the basics. It's not. It doesn't really sound digital. Yeah, they sound good. They're still pressed.
Okay.
We still do that, but it's just a limited amount of which ones they do. But yeah, they're still making brand new albums, which is kind of odd. But
so what's the price of that for a new album?
Those are kind of expensive. With the new albums, they could be like $25, $30.
Oh, I was gonna say because I remember Just for the Record was like $5.99.
Right.
Had those.
That was the time to buy them.
Do you get any of those in the sleeves and anything?
Oh yeah.
Just for the Record.
I do. Yeah.
Remember that there was a sleeve in the album, sleeve on the cover, and everything.
Those were very nice to protect the albums.
Yeah.
I've purchased a lot of those in my years. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we still get those, and it always brings a little gleam to my eye. Touch me a little bit when I see that old stuff. Yeah, pretty cool.
So how about a disc? Do you do CDs, I'm sure? Is popular again?
Well, CDs, with the digital stuff, what you and I talked about a little bit. They're down a little bit, but still a lot of people like to have that hard copy, have that artwork in their hand, be able to see it, collect it, and store it. So they do come in for that. Mostly the classic stuff. The brand new stuff, it's got to be kind of like right for brand new, not just, like Britney Spears doesn't sell real well anymore.
Oh, okay.
She had a lot of albums and stuff like that, and they sold a lot at the time, but now really nobody wants them. But that's what my dollar room is for.
Oh, okay. Well, explain that, your dollar room, too.
Yeah, good items, but there's a lot of stuff in there, records, CDs, and movies, and some games that just not worth that much anymore.
Okay.
So we sell them for $1 in the dollar room.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
And then we usually have a special, like, buy one, get one free in the dollar room. So then
it's a 50-cent
room.
You need a thing of 50 cent in there, like one of those body things. Like you got Kiss and Michael Jordan. I put that on Facebook. I think that's so cool.
Oh, yeah, where he's on the wall and then Gene Simmons is standing right by him. And tucked in the corner is Earnhardt Jr., I think.
Yeah. But those are classic. I mean, I don't know where else you could find them, really. I mean,
Well, probably the combination of stuff that I have, you're not going to find
Right.
in another store. It's really not duplicated. It's kind of unique that way. Mm-hmm. But you can go to a game store, and you can go to a record movie store. Which is, they're not. You go to a comic book store, which there's sometimes you can find those.
You know what I like too is you got a lot of box sets of CDs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you got an excellent collection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, some of the ways I get some of that stuff is like somebody passes away.
Oh, wow.
And a couple guys pass away, which is sad, but they kept their collections in beautiful shape. And then a lot of the family members are like, well, we'll just sell it and liquidate it this way so we can have some money. But it leaves me with pretty good collections of the good things to sell.
Yeah, some of that stuff's hard to find. Really. Now, do you have an eBay site for your store too, or is that something separate?
No, I could put almost all my stuff on eBay, but what we try to do is keep it in the store.
Okay.
And that way my people have something to come and trade for, to buy. That way they're not coming into an empty store.
Right, okay. So people can trade stuff. They can bring in something and trade for an item too. So you have that.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the same item. So you could bring in your Nintendo games if you wanted to and trade for a record album. Or you could trade for a CD or a DVD. And our Blu-rays there's a lot of Blu-rays right now that we have. Probably the highest amount of Blu-rays I've ever had. So.
Oh, no kidding. Why so many now?
Well, I think because it's not such a new thing now, and everybody's not hoarding them. Now they're deciding that probably they don't watch them all the time like they thought they were going to, and now they'll just go ahead and get some money out of it.
Oh, okay. In the future, too, what's going to happen after Blu-ray? Will everything just be, I know digital, is that where it's all going? Or
Well, it seems to be. A lot of sites, like you can do Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Hulu and stuff like that. The problem is they only rotate that stuff, so it's not always there when you want to see it.
Right. So that's why people still want to own it.
Right.
So when they want to look at the movie, they can have it right there.
Yeah. And I think recording it digitally is good for some things, but, at that day when something crashes and you lose it all, then what are you going to do with all the stuff that you purchased like that? I think it's going to be kind of an issue for people.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I hate to see them go completely away from the hard copy.
Right, because you do need backup and stuff. And how many DVD movies you got? You got like probably 3 sections.
Yeah, I know, because we have like 6 for $10. 6 movies for $10.
You're kidding?
No.
I've been out of the store for a while, but that's a deal.
That is a deal. And they're good movies. Because you can like Gladiator and, 50 First Dates. And I was thinking of a couple off the top of my head, but you can pick 6 of them for $10.
That's a deal.
You keep doing that deal.
Do that. Yeah,
that's cheaper than Redbox there.
Right. But those are good movies. Gladiator especially.
Yeah, that's a real good movie.
So what is it? The supply and demand? There's just so many of the DVDs out now?
Yeah, there's so many. And with the Blu-rays coming out, it's kind of depleted the value of the DVDs. So we've lowered the price on the DVDs to try to keep those moving. Now we still get a ton in, and I still sell a ton, but they just, it's in and out.
Right,
in and out, always changing.
And you got DVD players for sale too. In the back, which is a nice selection.
When we get them in, because I'm always at the mercy of what people bring in to sell me. So if they have something, I buy it.
Right, but it's always a working order. I'm sure you make sure it's all working.
Yeah, we clean it, we test it. Most of the time, it's at least a half hour into testing the system. So.
Oh, okay. Is there a warranty you give with them too? Or?
I do. Even though we've tested everything, I make sure that they're taken care of. So if there's any defect, big or small, you get 7 days. Bring it back.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, we'll give you something different or credit for something else.
So that way, no one's worried when they buy something from you. That they're going to get home.
Right. They're not stuck with it.
Right.
If there's any kind of problem, they just call us, and I think we have a good name in the community. Stuff like that.
I think so too. And I know you got an electric guitar and a bass guitar in there. So.
Yeah. For $100, it's hard.
Can't beat it.
It's hard to believe I can't sell them.
they've been. I thought those were new ones.
No, they've been sitting there since before Christmas.
Wow.
But you know what? I'm not known for instruments.
Right.
So it's been a little tougher.
Oh, great. Well, hey, we're getting ready for another break here.
All right.
Larry, always appreciate it. Again, coming up tonight. Bill will have Radio Classics at 11 p.m., Lux Radio Theater, Sunset Boulevard, and that was on air at 9/17/1951, and that's brought to you by the Phoenix Grill. So we'll be back. We're doing some of Larry's favorites, a little Bob Seger now. So we'll be back, Iconic Radio. All right, we're back on Iconic Radio, and hey, the show is about over. It's been going real fast. Larry, I always appreciate taking the time, and your wife Stephanie for coming out to the show. I asked you what you'd like to do for the last thing, and I think you wanted to talk about how good your employees are.
I really would. Thanks, Bruce. I've got a general manager named Jason who's just fantastic. Takes real good care of my store for me, and I really appreciate him. And then I got a girl named Becca who does a great job. Came in about 8 months ago.
Okay.
Learned quick. She's doing a good job. I, of course, Arthur. That's our standby guy. He's ready to jump in at any time.
Right.
My nephew Shane helps me.
Okay.
And my son Adam helps me. Actually, my other two daughters during the summer help me too. So, Lena and Allie. So, just really, really proud of them because they really keep me going.
Yes.
And always got to give a shout out to Bobby. Hey, Bobby!
All right. And you know what I like too? The store is very clean.
Thank you.
You know, it really is. It's well taken care of. Every time I go in there, things are in place, in order. And if you're looking for CDs, there's a section for that. NASCAR, we didn't get a chance to talk about too much. We'll have to have you on again. But everything's in sections. So, like you said, even when I look for my brother's Dolphin stuff, it's usually up above.
Right.
You know, the pennants and everything. And so... And again, you got such unique items in there. It's always just fun just to go in there, even if you're not looking to buy anything, just so you knew what you got coming.
Right. Well, and, you know, the gentleman, Chris, from the young adult program,
yes,
does a real good job keeping my store clean for me. He's constantly dusting, wiping glass.
Jumping up and down.
Yeah. You got to love that. Just a great kid.
But,
yeah, you know, and he really takes ownership of it and does a good job once he gets started on it and focused. And it's things like that help keep the store clean.
Yes.
You know, we're always running the vacuum and, you know, just trying to clean up after everybody else, seems like all the time. But, yeah, it's definitely an effort on our part. So.
Oh, and I think it's great. You help out the community. And the nice thing, too, like you said, you have a warranty. With anything anyone buys, they got 7 days, which is a big thing. So.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, Larry, we'll have you back on again. I always appreciate it.
Thanks, Bruce.
And all right, we'll see you back. This is Iconic Radio. Oh, next week we'll have Mark Modlin. He is the Amerispec owner, and he does inspection services. And next month is Rayon month. So go figure that. So we'll find out about Rayon. So Iconic Radio, we want to thank Bill McDonald always. And he'll be on at 11. This is Iconic Radio.